Warning. This video contains mature content. Viewers should be minimum 18 years olds. Or use internet for like 2 weeks. All characters in this game are minimum 18 years old. Welcome you to the review of Summer Memories. That is, Japanese simulator management in the old style. Where do we start our fun with the protagonist who is? All characters in this game are minimum 18 years old. Liar! Okay, Steam, how do we explain this? Yeah, it's getting harder and harder for me to sell this lie at the beginning. You know, at first, I planned review of Suck Mate instead of this game. A similar game when it comes to the mechanics, from the same studio, only the protagonist is less controversial. But I thought, nah, I will be fine. And I said, let's go all in.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
So please believe Steam's statement and mine about the hero's age, and don't think too hard about it. Or you be better not think about it at all, because the fun train not stopping there. And if someone complained about lack of fun from FBI. The theme of this game is also a word that is somewhat combination of words win and chest. Which theme is very trendy, thanks to a certain individual. And considering the last one, I think it's time to start with a story that will shed some light on our game. So we start our adventure as Boku, an ordinary 18-year-old Japanese student of art who goes to the countryside to stay with his family during the summer holidays. Together with cousins and aunt, indulge in such activity as fishing, homework, walking in the mountains, and a few other activities that we try to hide from aunt's husband and father of 2 daughters. And we are most likely the grandson of the former Prime Minister of Japan, but this is just my theory. Because looking at how much Boku is concerned about the negative birth rate in Japan and how much he tries to counteract it, I can't help feeling that his grandfather's will is manifested in his deeds. But, now for real. Let's back to the game. So we have a limited time in the form of 1 month of vacation, which we spend in the countryside. And in the form of action points, which we always have a limited number too. So there is a time-passing element. Further, we are always in a resource deficit. Be it in the form of money, items or the parameters of the main character. So the well-known management element is present. And finally, failure. So we have to proceed with our actions in such way that the rates of suspicion among household members do not reach 100%. For if we are too careless in our plays we will found our adventure over, before scripted time. And putting it all together emerges the good old Japanese-style management simulator. Light version. Which has been discussed on this channel more than once and will probably be many more again. I don't know if the Japanese are genetically programmed to make such games or go to some secret school. But as long as they do it like this, I will not complain. And our main goal is? I would say that experience this vacation in the most interesting way possible. Is it ending the stories of one of the main characters completely? Or trying to complete the side character stories? You're free to choose any path to your enjoyment. And of course, the game has New Game Plus, after its completion, which is for those who are terribly afraid of time responsibility in games. They can continue the story. In a way, during the second vacation to unlock all plots, scenes or see the effects of different choices during different events. And since we're at the events. Artwork. How is it? Everyone can see. It's hard to call it pixel art, but I wouldn't call it 4K graphic work either. Maybe the term paint art would be appropriate here. However, where I would like to draw your attention is that thanks to this art style, game stands out from the crowd. And in the crowd of games where everyone struggles to somehow stand out, this art style chose can be a bull's eye. Especially if the game is good, and the next game will also keep this art. Which helps a lot with recognition in this industry. And by default, if you hate Japanese style, this game won't change that. But if art doesn't bother you, because I doubt if you would fall in love at first sight with this particular style, it will be okay. The characters express their statements in the form of sighs, single words and, of course, looped moans for 18+ scenes. So I bet that developers focus more on the skillful use of the available base of stock sounds than telling the voice actors to limit themselves mainly to moans. I'm probably right, but I can't confirm it. Because the end credits Yeah. It's the same with music, mostly simple stock tracks. Music's job is not to disturb, but it has to be in-game. So you'd rather forgive me if I skip the examples. Except for this song during the minigame. Whoever came up with the idea to use it for this kind of minigame deserves a reward. As for me, I pick up the can and open it with a hiss of appreciation. Like one boomer to another, for the music and theme of the minigame. And when it comes to minigames, I really don't know how developers do it, but somehow they manage to create better minigames in their productions than other developers from the larger game industry. Okay, it's time for the so-called meat. Interesting themes can be divided into two stages. Unscripted interactions where we watch two or more models, which makes simple movements to the rhythm of simple sounds from the database. And the other, more scripted and in the style of visual novels. Also supported by simple audio interactions. If it were to sum up quickly, I would use the word fine. It's not something that will change your life, but it does its job. No more, no less. And in my opinion, the biggest advantage of the game that I cannot show is the freedom and pleasure resulting from this freedom. It's fun to come up with a daily schedule, react to small random elements and just have pure joy with small successes and failures. And this is something that is hard to present in a scripted review sometime later. However, even during the third and fourth playthrough of this game, I still had a lot of fun, which I think proves the good value of the product. And it shows the good foundations from which it is built. As for cons, voice acting made of simple words and groans is not really a plus. On the other hand, if you hire voice actresses for the main characters, you would have to give them more text to read. And I'm not sure if breaking through Shakespeare's lyrics about how a phallic object is sucked for 20 minutes is fun. So the audio side is not very strong, but I have no idea how to fix it myself. Maybe if something works then it's better not to touch it and leave it as it is. The same applies to the visual aspect. You could definitely make better graphics or character models like the rest of the 18+ industry. But then you will lose unique art style and have to deal with the competition without the elements that distinguish this game at first glance. And once again it's better to leave it, if there's an option to mess it up. Last but not least, the community. People that can't help too much with the extending live of the game by mods. You can probably try to modify the default appearance of the characters or their clothes. But this is where moders' work ends, because of how the game is structured. I doubt whether it makes sense to invest time in modding this game when the possibilities are very limited. And that's all. I recommend to check this production as a small/medium game on the 18+ games market. Maybe it will become one of your favorites. As it become with others. Especially if you don't have enough, the developer comes to your aid, in the form of the previous game with a similar appearance and mechanics. And with a promising future for fans of this production. The game can be purchased on Steam or Fakku and probably on other sites if you look well. Priced at $20 or Euro, but I recommend waiting for a discount, because $5 is a great price for this game. Especially if you are not entirely convinced after this review. And it's worth getting a DLC that just improves the base game. Of course, remember to download such things as patch 18+ on Steam. But at least it's for free. Not what some people do, right? Au Senki. And that's it for Summer Memories. As for the channel, we are adopting the American statistics from the early war for the Pacific. That is, 2 large Japanese aircraft carriers for 1 large American. In short, 2 games of Japanese origin or style, then one of origin from a very broadly defined West. Or the other way round. But we never give more than 2 videos for one side. And that's all. Big Mike. See you next time.